All right, Golf DMV special feature today. This interview with Tarek. Let me get this right because
you just did it.
We did it like 5 times before the interview. DeLavallade. I'm sorry.
DeLavallade.
Long A, yeah, DeLavallade.
Outlet.
DeLavallade. Okay. Tarek DeLavallade joining us today on Golf DMV, owner, designer at Deuce Golf and lifestyle brand. Tarek, thank you so much for joining us, my man.
No worries. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And so let's talk a little bit about Deuce Golf and the lifestyle brand. When did you start this? What was the inspiration behind doing it? And then we'll get rolling.
Started it. The brain thought came in August 2019 is when I came up with the concept, and we launched officially Black Friday weekend of 2019. So from concept to having product in hand, 3.5 months, and that was it. And after November 2019, we just jumped. Actually, November 24th, 2019. That is the birthday.
Right. So now you talked about from concept to launch. Take us behind the scenes with the concept. Like what did you see in the golf space, or what was inside of your head that said, "Hey, I need to jump in and do something here"?
So what happened was I was on a podcast with Kevin Peck, who's a good friend of mine from Morgan State. He runs a bunch of things, and there was a conversation between about 8 of us on the call, which are all Black folks in the golf industry in some way. And one of the questions was, who do we know that's in golf who makes, who's Black in golf, who actually makes hats, belts, gloves, shirts, pants, and 6 out of the 8 couldn't name one. And I knew one company, and there's another guy who knew the company. He was the one who owned the company, and I knew who he was. So it was like, well, shit, I don't know. That's not impressive. So at that point, I realized that what has been our barrier for entry or to entry into the industry, and it's not that we're not talented or we're not knowledgeable enough. Sometimes it's just being, like what Steve Harvey says, not being afraid to just jump off the cliff. And so after I got off that podcast that night, similar to what I'm doing with you guys, I literally was just up for 4 hours, just writing, going online, researching Black-owned golf, and then seeing what happened using African-American, and going into Google page 15, and honestly not finding much, with the exception of Sweet Spot Apparel and a couple of other failed opportunities.
And you said
we're no longer in place.
Yeah, Vern.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I before we get too far in, too, I mean, if you're not going to flex, I'm going to flex for him. I didn't realize that you had only started it in 2019. Before we started this call, Claude and I were talking. We were speaking to another gentleman named Otis Griffin, who we also met through Instagram, who does like golf tournaments and stuff like that. And he had mentioned Tarek's brand, Deuce, back in, this is fall of 2019. So this was like shortly after you had launched. And the flex would be, again, I thought maybe you're going to say, oh, I've been around for 5 years. No. So from 2019 to 2021, you're already in 19 of the PGA superstores across nationwide, across the U.S. I believe, if it still stands true, the only Black-owned golf and lifestyle brand in those stores, that's pretty amazing. That's a pretty quick turnaround. Like how
stores and online. So we're on both.
Stores and online. Where did you see it? Where did you see it catch? Where did you see it catch fire? Was it sort of a slow process up until a certain point, and then everything just kind of took off?
So November 19, kids. Get out of here. So November 2019 shot up. We were almost sold out of our initial 500 gloves that we bought in the first 2.5 months. And by the time we got to like early February, like Valentine's Day, we were almost out.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, but you started the company with me just thinking I'm just going to create something that'll be additional income for the household. And And then I was like, okay, well, we need more money because we spent we spent the profit on the mortgage, and the other stuff was the reason why we actually, started it. And so then it was like this, and then it took a dive, and then we got to the like second week of March, and then COVID happened. And then everybody was like, oh, well, there's no reason to buy golf stuff now because ain't nobody doing anything until people started realizing golf was the only thing we could do. And at that point, my inventory was extremely low, and I needed a boost of income or an infusion of revenue or some capital. And that that infusion came in late March, early April.
Nice.
So it took about a month and a half to get that infusion.
Right.
And then we went from being golf gloves only to hats, belts, T-shirts, cigar accessories, lighters, torches, cigar pouches, humidors, and travel bags in less than 4 months from that.
Yeah, and for anybody wondering, we have a tendency to do this to each other now. Like as a people, I'm going to keep it a buck. Where you hear like, oh, like we're all supportive, and then you hear when your homies say, hey, I got a thing, and you're like, oh, all right, you want to check it out? And they be like, nah. I've been to the website. You know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You tell your homies you're doing something, and they kind of give you the skeptical eye. If you haven't seen them already, Claude, the cigar holders, beautiful, like a beautiful leather. Like for those who listen to the show, we just got these custom scorecard holders from another company, like with this nice grain of leather. The cigar holders there at Deuce Premium blow that away. It looks like this really nice soft grain texture. The gloves were dope when we checked back in 2019 because, like Tarek said, when I checked, there were just gloves on the site. And when I looked at the recent Instagram post with all the belts are legit too. They got like the nice weave, like the woven style belts that you see at like Nike and all these other brands. So I mean, it seems very fast.
Ooh,
that's all. Exactly. I'm sorry.
I don't know what this cat's eye.
Behind this logo. But that's just really impressive, man, because that seems like very like a very quick turnaround. You must have how much sleep did you get? Were you sleeping much at all through this run up? It seems like okay, none.
Yeah,
Put zero.
It was valuable to be single during those times because then nobody could complain about how much time I wasn't given to them.
Right.
But basically, so sometimes there's people who have vision, and there's people who have ideas, and then there's executors, and I like to kind of consider myself having all three, where some people just have ideas, but they never execute on those, where I'm just, the guy who says, I'm not sure how much, can we curse on this show? I mean, I don't, is it kid friendly or is it? Well, I just say typically, my thing is I say, F it, I'll do it.
Okay.
So that's my mantra. Fuck it, I'll do it. And sometimes you have to be that way because if not, then you'll just say, well, I'll get around to it. Well, it's not the right time.
Right.
Well, I'll wait till February till I get the bonus check. Well, somebody else is in the lab grinding with your idea that you don't even know they have your idea. And by the time February comes around, launch.
Yes.
And then you're like, well, I was going to do that.
And then nobody ever wants to hear that, Tarek. I mean, I don't want to get too deep in this, my own personal problems, but everything you just said is a personal thing that I'm always battling. Like the idea that you will, I don't want to get dark and say die, but something could happen and you leave this world with regrets. Like, I coulda, I shoulda, I coulda. And you just, like you said, F it, I'll do it. Or, even simply, scared money don't make money, right? If you're not willing to risk anything, how can you find success? So, yeah, I'm sorry, Claude. I mean, I just took the
no. Those are all good points, man. And so we moved to with Deuce Golf, growing in such a quick amount of time. How would you explain it? I mean, to say, okay, it's more than like kind of fashion line. You talk about like lifestyle brand. Talk a little bit about what it means for Deuce to be a lifestyle brand.
So that was key for me because the blessing is that I know a lot of people know me. That's not me bragging. It's just because I've been good to people, and I think when you're just good people look to support you, and over the years, I didn't just fall into golf. I've been in golf since 2009. So I've been planning golf trips around the world for people for 10 years. And that was my main job. I had no corporate job. I woke up and went to sleep to planning golf trips with people for the last 12 years.
Man.
Wow.
And I did that up until COVID, until obviously travel just went sideways.
Right.
And I was just known as the travel guy. So I knew I was in golf, but not in golf in that way. And what happened is I launched this, put it on Black Golfers Association immediately. It went boom, because all the Kappas were in there and the Alphas and Qs. Man. And, you know, people who just wanted to support. And that was literally our launching point. And then we started seeing all these orders, but I knew everybody who was making orders.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And you're like, I'm not really scaling a business. I'm just got my people just saying, I got you, I'm gonna buy your stuff. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to get to a point where I didn't know, when I saw an order and I was like, I don't know that person. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's when Google starts to reward you for different reasons. But where the lifestyle thing came in is that, just as you were asking, I was doing golf, but I got a lot of friends, but not all my friends play golf.
Okay.
And so they were like, well, I want to support you, but I don't play golf. And who am I going to buy a golf glove for? My dad doesn't play. My boyfriend don't play, or my sister, no, I don't play at all. I don't know anybody who plays golf, or I heard so I'm like, well, then I'm losing business. How much revenue am I losing because I'm not giving them something they can buy from me.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So that's when I said, well, let me do t-shirts. And then I immediately went to hats, and then designed a couple of lifestyle hats that you could wear, car wash, go hang out, get a cigar with the fellas, or just go out in the street, go to the grocery store, Safeway for the DMV folks, and just wear and just feel good in, look good in. And I did, and I made, this was our first hat that I have on now.
Yep. And
this was the roped hat that everyone was kind of falling in love with. And I was like, let me just hop on this bandwagon and see if I can ride it. And then we started, like, what else do golfers love? We like to smoke cigars and we like to drink. And I said, well, drinking is hard to, what am I going to do, make flasks? No, I don't want to do that. So then I got into the cigar stuff, and I custom made cigar pouches that you could customize yourself, but then we customized about 100 and something. So you could choose whatever color fits your personality. And then we went to, and then the humidors, typically people buy black humidors, the hard ones, and they put them in their golf cart. And what color is the inside of your golf cart?
Black.
Black. How many times have many of us left
them? Yeah.
Right there because it
get home and say, damn.
Yep.
Calling in, hey, I left my thing and the blah, blah, blah.
I bought at least two. Yeah. So.
Right. So I made mine white and green. So the top is white, the bottom is green. So it's easy to see. And it, gives a, golf feel to it. So I made them white and green, customized to put my brand on it. And those were sold pretty well. But that's where the lifestyle thing came in. And then I'm from the travel industry. I wanted something that was a bag. I wanted a high-end $500, something that someone could buy that gave me enough margin that I could sell 2 bags, and it would give me enough to be able to say, okay, I could do something else with that. And that's when I came up with the Weekender, which are honestly just, we custom made 7 different color combinations of those. And right now, that's where we are with our items. I am adding items. I won't say what they are, but I'll wait. I don't want to put it out there until
no exclusives for Golf Divvy. Okay, all right. We'll wait.
Because it's at least a couple of months out, so I got to make sure they're right.
I got you.
I don't want to give my competitors a little opportunity to say, "Ooh, let me go and do something before
some insight,
some knockoff."
I don't need to give them, we're not doing that.
Can I ask you? So I'm gonna ask you, and again, we haven't cut this week. I'm gonna ask you a sort of, not a tough question, but just I was talking with another a content creator the other day about the plethora of brands that have showed up since since 2018, 19 and onward. And I told him, I was like, man, this is on the front end. I want to say this isn't like a crab in the barrel argument I'm making. I'm not being negative. I'm just saying I began to wonder, it's like, man, is there enough, are there enough of us in the space to support all of these different brands? What's going to be the separator, for quality versus quantity? But the question I have for you is like, what's your take on that? And then do you also think that, so this whole grow the game thing, right? Like right now, golf is infatuated with us and everybody else in the culture. That's cool. Do you think this is a moment? Because I'm kind of cynical. Like, do you think that we're just having a moment here, and at some point we're going to move on to something else, and maybe some of this will stick, or do you think this is mostly legit? People are really looking for, diverse, fashion, style, lifestyle, all that type stuff, and go.
Oh, that's hard, man.
I know.
It's not hard because I have to be careful on how I say things. And
that's why I said, anything you don't want to say, you can just cut it.
Yeah. We can always.
But this is real talk.
Okay.
Or as you know, to spell it Roger Steele's way, RILL.
Real talk.
Real talk is that when I got the opportunity, and there's some other things that you may not even know that I do, which you probably don't, and I'll share those in a second, is that we have to be careful about how urban we are sometimes, how Blackish our products are, and if that can move to the major market.
Right.
Then that's to say same thing for someone who's Mexican and creates something that's a very cultural, a colorful towel.
Right.
And I don't know the name of it, but will PGA Tour Superstore see that and say, "Wow, that's going to be fire in our stores. It's going to sell out."
That's true.
Will Edwin Watts say that? Will Golf Galaxy or Dick's see that towel and say, "We're not going to keep these in stores. They're going to fly off the shelves."
Mm-hmm.
If they don't feel that way about something, they're not going to put it in the store and probably not going to put it on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's not to say that the brothers Olajuwon and Earl from Eastside, the young brother from Blackballed, the other, you got Al Quarles from Buckafogie, and you got Cloud9, and there's a few others out there that are creeping. Doc Adams Golf, I love his logo. It's super dope. It's like this massive elephant with these huge tusks.
Yeah,
that's pretty but TaylorMade's trying to snuff him.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Because of his name. Because the founder of TaylorMade's last name is Adams.
Adams Golf, yeah.
Golf, and I'm like, but that's his name. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but they don't care. They're 300 pound in this case, elephant. And they got more money than he does, and they can wait him out until he says, F it, I'll do something different. Or hopefully he just stays in there. And I pray that he does, because I really love the brand and what he's doing with it. But I say all that to say, Deuce is a name that is super neutral. It hasn't black in it, doesn't have something Mexican or Hispanic or Latinx or Irish or if it's Scottish. It doesn't have any ties to any particular culture. And that has been the blessing for me, because Golf Channel contracted us to do a whole thing for the Masters.
Oh.
Everybody doesn't know that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no, that's what I said. This is news.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
So they hired.
Congratulations.
Thank you. They hired us to do a whole thing to all their corporate partners. So we put together a golf hat, belt, glove package for their corporate partners, and we shipped it to Golf Channel. They bundled it and then sent it off to like vice president of sales for Troon Golf and Club Core and Golf Course Association president, executive director, all these partners.
Right.
And then they said, let's try the Masters first, see how it goes. And then we have the U.S. Open and Ryder Cup. We didn't get the U.S. Open because there were some things wrapped around there with another brand, but we did get the Ryder Cup. So they just ordered 600 hats from us for the Ryder Cup. So we're going to do a whole European hat with the blue, with the gold, all custom, and then there's going to be a USA hat as well with the red, white, and blue, and they'll have that for the end of September. But these are the blessings you get when your brand is neutral.
Yeah, when it can cross well, and you basically did answer my question, like, because in a sense we gotta, in the community, we got to be we got to keep it a buck, and golf is still a business, and we're still a small portion in it. So like you say, if you're trying to get into the Dick's or PGA Superstore and you go 100% ham, shooters and whoopers on your on your logo,
it makes the black power fence with the golf club, the black golf. And it's dope logo.
It is,
but
right.
It's not gonna be.
You already know. That's what I'm saying. If we talk about how it goes, you already know that they're not gonna be like, yeah, we'll put this in there. Even from a and I think all money is green. If it was gonna fly off the shelves, I'm sure they would do it. But they know.
100%.
They're like, no, our customers, they ain't right. Well,
and even from the top, it may not be not wanting to support. It's just like, at the end of the day, it's a bottom line situation, and
that's it.
The people who are coming in the store aren't going to purchase it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, no, yeah.
And let me just say this real quick. For as neutral as Deuce is, the cool thing about it is, it's like you were saying, I was like, hey, it is neutral, but it also is dope because it's still specific within the culture. We got a lot of things. We got the Deuce, you know what I'm saying? We got cars, you know what I'm saying? Chunking the Deuce. Oh yeah, so
Deuce in a quarter. Right.
Yeah, so I like it. So it's like a little Trojan horse situation where it's like, hey guys, this is really neutral and blah blah blah. But then
I can't find a Deuce in a quarter in Florida. I've been trying to find someone so I can go do a little video shoot with that thing.
Gotta go to Cali, man. Gotta go to Cali. But yeah, that's dope,
Cali or probably so. Yeah. So Deuce actually came about because one, I'm an alpha, and so I'm a Deuce. So I'm the second on my line.
Okay.
My son is Tarek the second. So I've been calling him Deuce since he was a Todd.
Okay.
And golfers taking selfies and group photos. They always, they do this. So that was the premise behind it: is how can I make sure that it's a cool story?
Yeah.
And then it could be a culture. It could be a culture thing.
Right, it's meaning to us, exactly. Yeah.
But but to be fair, I see white boys throwing up the.
Of course.
My thing wasn't. Initially, I had to find something that I could sell to us.
Yes.
But I never built. I never started the company with the premise that I would be the black brand.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Right.
No.
Right.
But I knew where my audience was that could get me started, give me honest feedback. And black folks will give you honest feedback, with or without your asking, and that's fine because I'd rather get that from us, and they won't typically put you on blast. They'll say, hey, and I'll say, okay, I appreciate it, and then we'll make changes. So that's what we've done. I'm on like glove 3.0 at this point because I keep trying to make gloves better. Thinner, better, fitting, stretchy, don't rip, don't tear, I'm always trying to find ways to be able to make it better.
So when the Qs give you criticism, like, hey, we noticed all the Q gloves you made is trash. They be falling apart. What's up with that, bro? Like, what's happening? I'm just messing. I got Qs in my family. I think they listen to it.
Actually, the Q, I haven't gotten much. The Qs that have is because they put the glove on. They try to I'm like, you don't put gloves on like you trying to do Usain Bolt. You don't need
latex glove for surgery or something.
Right. He's like, and then pop it. We're not doing all that. No one does that. Man. So yeah, but it's been a great year and a half. I'm gonna say I'm not. God's not done with me. He's got some other plans. Coming after Golf Galaxy, coming after Dick's, coming after Edwin Watts. I'm going after Troon, Club Core.
Okay.
I want these golf management companies, and I'm gonna hold them accountable. Do you have any minority-owned, golf soft goods or hard good companies that you have a contract with that you've given your properties and your green grass facilities? Like you can order from them. They've been greenlighted.
Right.
And if your answer is no, then Deuce is your first one. Come get this. And that's how I'm going to win, but that's how I'm going to make sure that I get in. I'm going to do a phenomenal job with supporting and fulfilling. And then I'm going to leave the door open for all the other young brothers and sisters who want to come in behind me.
Yep.
And then, because I got to lead, somebody's got to lead the way, and somebody's got to go in and just just don't F it up. You know?
Right. Yep. Represent.
Period.
Don't screw it up. Open the doors.
Don't screw it up. And, and so that everybody says, well, we gave him a chance, but we tried. I am not going to be that story.
Right.
Right.
And I appreciate that you still said leave the door open for those behind you, because the whole idea is like, hey, it's I can be successful, and it's enough bread out here for everybody to eat. You know what I'm saying? If you come in with something quality, if you come in with something decent, we can all eat out here, which I really appreciate that. I appreciate that sentiment, man.
I don't want people to keep saying that they're the first at something. I want Black folks in golf to just be the next. Like, it's cool to be the first, but then it's like, all right, well, when do we stop saying we're the first at something? Because it's cool, because everybody wants to say that.
Right.
I'm one of those people who like to say I'm the first. But it's okay. But let me do that. Let me get it out of my way. Go like this, and then all right, guys. Let's jump in. You look at my Instagram. You don't see a lot of white folks on my Instagram. And it wasn't like I don't want to have them. I just want to make sure that I want to put us on there a little bit more than I can put others. That's what's up. And why not? Yeah. They didn't really think about us when they were
nobody else will. Exactly.
Well, Instagram is not that old, but the last 7 years, they were like, there's brands. You just start seeing Black folks on G4. But Black folks we love on G4, but G4 ain't, loving on us that much.
No, right.
Asher Golf, you ain't seen one person of color except for Asian cat in there. They don't feel like they have to. They don't feel intentional where it's something that they, and that they do it is because, we got to put a Black guy in there.
Yeah. It's a strategy just to calm people down.
What's your guy you played golf with last weekend? He's Billigan.
Come take a picture of the shirt.
A brown forearm, with a golf glove in it.
Yeah, that's true.
No, absolutely. And you got a ton of stuff coming up. For people to find out more information on Deuce Golf and all the stuff you got coming up, where can they go?
So for Deuce Golf, you can go to deucepremium.com. You can find us on Instagram as well, Deuce Premium. And I think we're the same thing on Twitter and Facebook as well. It's a passion. It's not a passion project. Passion project is not-for-profit stuff. So
right.
For those who don't know, and many people are aware of United Golfers Association, I'm the executive director for that organization. Many people follow Black Golf Wire. I own that.
Yeah, I because I noticed the logo. I put it together when I saw the logos. The green and the black were very similar, and I was like, oh, okay, they're connected.
Right.
Two connected
so I'm one of the owners for 1896 Golf Society, which is a new platform. You guys will check. That's gonna blow you away.
Actually,
checked it out a little bit before the show.
I know we're at the end here. I don't want to keep you too long. I do want to ask you a question about that. So 1896.golf is where you go to check it out. It is clean. It is dope. You go there, it's like this sort of like I don't know how you would describe it, Tarek, but it sort of looks like this like lifestyle news golf hub for brothers, for the culture, and his ancestors too, out here doing it. And it is really nice. Lots of good stories, original writing. I was reading one of the articles about Willie Mack where he was talking. It's pretty dope. So what I want to ask you is, how did this come about really quickly? And then how excited, did you have anything to do with the shipping in Detroit, or was that just like a serendipitous, like a nice coincidence with the inaugural John Shippen happening recently at the Rocket Mortgage?
So I was on the committee.
Okay. Awesome.
I was on the committee, and did you see Moby, Greg Odom had the 1896 hat?
Yep.
Those are Deuce hats. I designed those.
Nice.
So I was on the committee. I was actually part of the committee that chose who was gonna, so I was on the part of the committee, which is phase one, which we submitted all the names that we felt were people who were ideal to play in this the tournament.
Right.
And then Summer Woods, who and kudos to her, an amazing sister who really is like truly for the people and for the culture. Fought hard to get this project going, and she did an amazing job. I was there in Detroit for 2 days and was there for what was supposed to be the practice round and then the first round, and just truly was in awe. I mean, a lot of these golfers, they know me and I know them because I follow them, and some of them wear do stuff. But it was really an amazing event. And I'm really proud that Rocket Mortgage and Intersport and Woods and Watts put this together because it showed the world what we could do. I really had hoped that in that hour that they showed it, that they showed them actually playing.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of a documentary than it was them showing them actually playing golf.
Right.
And I was noticing that while I was there following the camera guys. There was only a couple of camera guys moving around, a couple of people mobile. I was like, but they're not recording. Like, not like it was like Golf Channel on Saturday or Sunday or final round, Sunday. You know, I didn't see that. So I was like, all right, well, how are they going to do this? But I mean, it was still amazing. But I was really hoping to see, because there were a lot of players who you didn't see,
right,
who never got an eyeball, that are amazing, but they didn't get the eyeball that they deserved as well.
Well, it's a slow mark. Like I said, you know, it's the inaugural. We go baby steps, right? We're going.
We advance in football.
I got another event for y'all in February to you know, to be a part of. So coming up.
Nice.
That won't be a secret. I can tell you what that is.
Okay, all right.
That's called the Jim Thorpe Invitational.
Oh.
So it'll be a blend of what you saw at the Mac Champ.
Yep.
And the John Shippen. So we're going to have all the top black, talent, all the juniors from ages 9 to 18. And we're going to have, that's going to be one tournament. It's going to be flighted based on age and gender.
Right.
And then we're going to have another professional tournament. That'll be a purse. And it'll be a $15,000 aside. So $15,000 for the pros on the men's side and 15 grand for the ladies.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's going to be in Orlando that sometime in February. We'll let you know.
Nice. Right. Yeah, keep us posted, man. We'd love to come down there and cover it and all that jazz.
Well, that's what we want. We want, give you guys an opportunity to create content around exactly who these folks are and do interviews and things like that. Because, the more we showcase them, the more their brand, their name, we can create a digital footprint for these young people that they currently don't have.
Exactly. Right. Absolutely. And we do it ourselves. We don't need anybody's approval. We don't need anyone else to do it for us. We can do it. We can do it.
And I run the tournament, so I'm the one who makes the decisions.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. So we know the plug. We got it.
You know a guy.
That's it. Todd, man, I really appreciate your time tonight, man. Thank you so much for joining Golf DMV.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.